This is not at all like our inspiration. This is why we do these things, okay? Okay. All of the marketing messages around this time of year that revolve around a sense of urgency and scarcity drive me a little bit bananas. So to counteract this, I'm going to shop my closet for some looks that I found as inspiration on the internet, and I'm going to see if I can reinterpret them so that it's more to my personal style and taste, so that I'm ready to go with some outfits for the holiday season. Since they've supported my message of shopping my closet since the beginning of my channel, I'm partnering today with my very good friends over at Nordgreen, a Danish watch and accessories brand. I love that I can find my very favorite and my oldest styles of my watch on their website still today. To me, this represents a commitment to longevity, but also a commitment to keeping production and consumption levels manageable. Over the holidays, I tend to favor my smaller 5-link gold chain watch with a navy blue face. I love this because it has a little bit more gravitas, a little bit more drama, so it looks really nice when I want to elevate some outfits. So you'll see it styled a little bit in today's video, as well as my trusty 5-strap 2-tone chain link watch with philosopher face. I wear this often, so you've probably seen it often. This is one of my all-time favorite watches. Nordgreen's watches all come with customizable straps. So this is really good if you want a little bit more versatility with just one watch style. Something new that Nordgreen has started is having a second chance section on their website. So this is where they sell refurbished watches. And I like this because it shows a commitment to circularity, which is another really important factor in slow fashion. They also have a really wonderful giving back program. Every watch comes with a code that never expires. You can choose whether you've received the watch or if you're gifting the watch to someone, don't forget to let them know that they can choose to send a portion of the proceeds of their watch to one of 3 admirable causes: health, environment, or education. As usual, Nordgreen is generously offering you a discount. You will find the code to use in the description box below. However, as I mentioned before, the beauty of Nordgreen is that they allow you to have the space and breathing room to sort of think about a purchase before shopping. So do take your time until you either are looking for a watch for someone for the holidays, or if you have a gap in your watch collection. A big thank you to Nordgreen for sponsoring today's video. Let's jump on in. This first look I found on Pinterest. I don't have the credit for it. If you know of it, please pop it in the comments below. Before jumping into my closet and trying to put this look together, I like to break out outfits into elements of style. Things like color, proportion, texture, all of these elements that separate the garment from the outfit itself. Because once I start doing this and seeing outfits from this perspective of elements of style, I stop lamenting and being sad about the fact that I don't have those actual items in my closet. And instead, I can see the clothes that I already own as like tools to express myself. So not only will I be more satisfied and creative with what I already have, but the chances are I'm actually gonna come out with an outfit that actually feels a lot more like me. So if I'm looking at this outfit and I'm breaking it out into elements, one of the first things I look at is the overall vibe. What's the feeling of this look? I would say this overall vibe is minimal, still festive because there's a little bit of glitter in there, and definitely just like overall chic, understated, that kind of thing. The silhouette is really beautifully balanced. There's a subtle waist definition. It's got a little bit of flow and ease to it. All of the pieces are fairly relaxed. There isn't a lot of structure. It's definitely a monochrome palette, and I would say the proportions are pretty evenly balanced. I already own a slip skirt, so I'm definitely gonna use it, but I don't think this has to be a slip skirt situation. I think you could do like a dress, perhaps, a flowy kind of dress, and throw a sweater on top of that too. I also love the monochrome, but I don't want to pair this with the only kind of camel color sweater I have, which is really big and bulky. Let me see what I can do. Okay, so I've chosen this sweater, which has a little bit of ease. It's not sparkly. It's not in the same color palette, but this was probably, I was thinking, the best sweater to do this with because it has enough drape to kind of just sit with a blouson. But look at what's happening at the back. So this sweater is still, I would say, maybe too stiff. Okay, so see how this sweater falls like this? It doesn't really come in at the waist. I think we need a sweater with like an elastic. Doesn't have to be super tight at the bottom, but it needs to have more shape, because if we do this to it, it's gonna just be too stiff and it's gonna stick out as we did here. I know this isn't the right belt, but maybe the thickness of the belt has something to do with it. So look, okay, so we zhuzh it in the front, maybe we blouson it a little, but no, you see this is happening? This has everything to do with the type of sweater. So here's what I'm gonna do. The other sweater was a very different texture. This is 100% cashmere, so it has a nicer drape. The other one is a blend, so it's not draping as nicely on the body. You see how it's short? It actually sits on the body because of the elastic. So let's see what happens now if we belt it. But you see how much nicer this is sitting? This is just a whole lot better. Now we have a color situation going on. Even though I've got the black here and the black here, I think this is too much of a high contrast. I don't want this look to feel dramatic. I want it to feel like soft and easy, like I'm at someone's house. Let's take this belt. So now we've got a little bit more of like a soft color palette. I much prefer how all of these are working together. You know, we don't have to adjust the sweater too much. It's just working because of the type of sweater we've got. So now the footwear is an issue. We're gonna go with something again that feels a little bit more harmonious. This is what I would do for the shoe. So I've just got the patent sort of blush pink pump. The thing with a blush pink pump is that it really makes the ensemble feel very dressed in comparison to sort of a strappy sandal, which does feel more festive. I'm also gonna add my Nord Green watch, the one with the two-tone, particularly because I actually love the juxtaposition here. I've got a sweater that feels a little bit like traditional menswear, coupled with a bunch of these like very delicate details. It seems a little bit like out of place, but I actually really like it, especially because I want this look to feel a little bit more at ease, so adding something functional is gonna do that. The second look is by Ada Oguntogu. I love her looks, and now that I look at it, this look is almost the exact same as the first one in terms of silhouettes, proportions, and even vibe, although this, I would say, has so much more punch and personality to it. Even though it's still monochrome, because we're using this tonal green and we've got a green fluorescent shoe, it feels just a lot more interesting. This is actually a really interesting comparison of using monochrome in a completely different way. So before we had monochrome neutrals, and now we're looking at a monochrome color, also with that injection of neon. So when you're thinking about a monochromatic palette or even just using color, it's not always about keeping the same color head to toe. It could also be playing around with like the tone of the color. Is it darker? Is it lighter? All that fun stuff. I also love the hair accessories that she's added. They feel playful. They feel really contemporary instead of going on that classic side of things that we saw with our first look. This is not at all like our inspiration in the sense that it's perhaps not the right color, but I'm really impressed with myself that I'm wearing this jumpsuit. It's like a beautiful jersey material, so it feels like a pajama. It looks really elevated when you add a belt and a great shoe. I haven't worn it in this way for a while, and I think I can definitely wear this to a Christmas party like at someone's home, because it mixes that like casual and chill but still really beautiful. I've got a really interesting shoe, which was a styling tweak that we had in our inspiration. No, it's not all part of the monochrome palette, but it was the shoe that really stood out to me, because even though it was part of that monochromatic look, it was still like that punchy piece, that almost like that quirk in the outfit, because you wouldn't expect a neon shoe. I've just belted it. I know our inspiration didn't have that much waist definition. It was really relaxed and languid everywhere else. I've got that beautiful relaxed yet still punchy vibe. I've accessorized it very minimally with a thicker hoop, just a really nice like delicate necklace, and then I swapped out my watch for this beautiful gold one with the blue face. I think all the accessories, even though they are a little bit minimal, they still have a really good visual impact. Just ties everything together. I love this. I know it's all black. I know it might not seem groundbreaking, but what makes this look really interesting in terms of the elements are the silhouettes, in my opinion. We've got this really cool asymmetric off the shoulder top. I would also bet that the textures are really beautiful in real life here, whether it's like a nice wool pant with maybe a beautiful knit. We've got some really beautiful waist definition. I love love the silhouette that this is creating. I think that's what's really making this striking. Like, yes, it's all black, but it's so elegant because of the asymmetric neckline and the waist definition. Plus we've got like a nice long hem. It's not a crop, it goes all the way down. So our proportions, even though we've got the asymmetry up at the neckline, they still feel really nicely balanced. I would say the overall vibe of this look is very similar to our first. It's classic, it's minimal, it's very, very chic and understated. This has a little bit more of like a ladylike delicateness to it, if you want to say. I think because of the way she's holding her bag, there's more structure in the pant, so it feels a little less easeful and a little bit more elevated and dressed. Okay. Kind of surprised myself on this one. Got the trouser, which I love. I don't have a nice, like, cool, chic, off-the-shoulder knitwear like our inspiration, but I do have a button-up shirt, and I feel like button-ups are just the most versatile thing in your closet if you want to, like, finagle them to turn them into something completely different. Would I wear this in real life? If I were stuck, like, if all I had brought to, like, in a travel capsule or something like that was a button-up shirt and these trousers, like, if that was my only option for going out and I had worn them the same way a bajillion times already, I would probably play with something like this. I've accessorized it with a big hoop to make it a little bit more interesting. Kept the navy blue watch because I think it's really nice and delicate. I think the more hefty watch would be perhaps a little bit too predictable because we've got so much structure and that, like, these sharp, clean, tailored separates already. This keeps it a little dainty, and I also like how it's on the bare arm. So it's like a little bit of, you know, jewelry on the arm, which is cool. I should also say that I've incorporated some of the texture into the footwear. I could have also gone with the black patent, and that would have brought in some of that texture play element, which I really liked out of this outfit. But I decided to go for these because they're a little bit softer. I feel like everything else is very sharp and structured, and the patent would have given me that same sort of sharpness, and I do feel like there's a little bit of softness in that look. I also didn't want to do the belt because there's so much going on with the shirt already. I think it just would have competed and it would have been perhaps overkill, so just left it like this. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you thought those looks were a hit or a miss in the comments below. As always, if I come up with something new that I haven't before, I'm pretty sure it's a win. Big thank you again to Nordgreen for sponsoring today's video. You will find that discount code in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here, for watching the channel, for shopping your closet and being so enthused about creativity instead of consumption. Thank you for everyone who came to our December live virtual Shop Your Closet event. It's always a hoot. Next one will be in February, and you'll hear about it here on the channel. In the meantime, have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at, and I will see you in the next slow fashion video. Ciao!